All right, what's going on, guys? So this is somewhat of a public service announcement to all of you guys that kind of been tuning into this channel for quite some time. We have finally hit that point in the oil field that we've been talking about for quite some time, where there is a major deficit for trucks versus the amount of work that's out here. Remember, so at the level that me and my partner are at, we have the direct mass service agreements with the brokers, like not the brokers, but the oil companies in the oil field. So therefore, we understand where the market is, and then we have relationships with these other like big giants in the field, and they're going through the exact same issues. We're in a position right now in the oil field where rates are at 155 an hour, 160 an hour, 165 an hour. I'm in a position where about 2-3 years ago, I could snap my fingers and get 30-40 trucks. Now, I'm having to turn down jobs because we can't take care of the overflow. And it's not just me, it's every single company in the Bakken. So if you want to put yourself in a position where you could finally get into this game and see the profit margins of $20,000 to $30,000 a month as a single owner operator, and then grow in a fleet where you're profiting $10,000 to $15,000 a month per company driver, I'm telling you guys right now is the time to do it. Because over the next year and a half, we're going to be in a position where it's going to be easy to get to 5 trucks. It's going to be easy to get to 10 trucks because we're in a position where there's just, the oil field doesn't have the infrastructure to be able to support everything. So that brings us with a problem, all right? That brings us with a major problem, and that's why we need guys to come out here in order to be able to help us with what we have going on, because there are so many owner operators out here that don't deserve to be here. All right, about half of the team that's on my fleet, I want to get rid of them. I want to fire them. I want to bring fresh blood into this game in order to be able to service my customers properly. Because, you know, I tell you guys about these profit margins, but the guys out here are so used to it that they don't even do what they need to do in order to be able to make that money. Like, I call them up to take care of a $2,000 day, and they're bitching and complaining because they got to be on location at 6 a.m. So I'm going to tell you guys a few stories about some owner operators and some of the issues that I've been dealing with. And my goal for this is for you guys to derive some type of value or some lessons of like, hey, don't do this. So at the very top, this is a ongoing thing that I see people doing, all right? They want to become a boss too quick. And what does that mean, all right? They put themselves in a position where they've been an owner operator for a little bit, they finally got that second truck, they finally hired that second driver, and they do one of two things. Either one, they do it a little bit too soon, all right? So now they're in a position where, like, let's say they have 30 grand in the bank, all right? They buy a truck for 20, or buy a truck and get it all dripped out, and they're 100% set up for 20 grand. Now they're only in a position where they only have 10 grand left, and they're trying to nickel and dime that 10 grand in order to be able to get by. I'm telling you guys right now, if you're trying to build a business, if you can't cover at least 30 days of operation costs before you hire a driver, don't fucking hire him, all right? Because that driver, his responsibility is to drive the truck. Everything else is not his problem. So literally I was in a position where this guy fucking hired a driver, went on vacation, didn't have the money to be able to pay for fuel or maintenance or payroll, and now this driver's calling me up like, hey, like, I know I was gonna be on this job, but I'm on the side, not on the side of the road, but I'm at the fuel pump, and I can't even pump gas. Puts me in a position where I got to drive out there, and I did. This is the exact story. I fucking drove out there at 1 in the morning to swipe the card to fuel this guy up. Not even my driver, one of my fucking leasers. And the reason I did that is because I ain't gonna tell the consultant on location, hey, you're fucked, because this guy can't get his shit together. So if you start doing these things and trying to expand too quickly, you're gonna end up fucking your reputation in the field. Because now I understand I can't trust that individual. And remember, this is from the mind of a broker. This is from the mind of the guys that you guys got to get in go with. So every single situation here is something you have to take note of and be like, all right, don't do this, because if I do this, I'm gonna get a bad rep in the field. So understand that, guys. This guy tried to grow too quickly, and that's what happened there. Second off, all right, let's say you do have the money, because a lot of guys do. A lot of guys have the money to be able to expand. They have enough money for operation costs. But as soon as they hire a driver, they want to leave on vacation. Without training that driver, without getting him integrated into the system, without introducing him to the company, man, without doing all the things that he needs to do, he just wants to fucking throw the driver in the truck, go on vacation, and just hope the driver fends for himself. All right? Fast forward, tell you about this situation. All right, what ended up happening was the truck broke down. The driver tried to contact the boss, the business owner. The business owner didn't feel like dealing with it at that time. The driver felt wronged, and now he's in a position where the driver ended up quitting. He lost his position. That would have made him about $30,000 to $45,000, and now he's fucked. He's on vacation, no money coming in, lost the driver, truck's just sitting there, all because he didn't want to like stay in the game, make sure the equipment's taken care of, communicate with the driver, make sure that everything's good before he got going. So understand, that's a big issue right there. Another thing when it comes to vacation, all right? So when I was first coming up in this game, all right, so me and my partner, we used to hold down quite a few operations by ourselves as single owner operators. And it didn't matter what the situation was, the job got taken care of. So if you're in a position where you have your own work, you're like in charge of an operation, it doesn't matter if that operation is going to be 24/7, 365 for the next year and a half. You make sure that operation is taken care of 24/7, 365, whether you're there or not. If that means that you got to hire a driver or hire 2 drivers in order to be able to cover that when you're gone, cool. But you make sure that you ain't leaving unless you're in a position where that operation is taken care of. Understand that, because all it takes is this. All right, you leave on vacation, someone else comes in, they start taking care of the job, and now you're in a position where this person just came up onto you, swiped that position, and now you're fucked. That customer that would have made you $500,000 a year is now gone because you wanted to take a 2-week vacation and you didn't have anyone to cover the position. Understand that. If you don't prioritize the job over everything else, you will fail. That's a tip right there. You guys can take my advice or not, but if you really want to get to the position where we're talking about, where you have your 10 trucks rolling, you're making about $100,000 a month liquid, these are the things you have to do. So, like, to follow up on the story that I was just telling you guys about, I had a subcontractor, right? He was running a job for quite some time. He was on it for about a month. He was making about $2,000 a day. At the end of the month, he probably made like 60 grand. And like mid-job, by the way, didn't give me a fucking heads up or nothing. He was in a position where literally him and his other guy, his partner, 2 trucks running 24 hours on that location, 12 hours and 12 hours, $4,000 a day. Like, fuck it, you know what? Let's get going. Went on vacation, put me on a bind, levels started climbing in the field. I had to figure some shit out, throw someone in the position. Obviously, the job got handled. Because at the end of the day, like when it comes to me, when it comes to my partner, jobs get handled no matter what. That's why we're in the position we're in. But fast forward about 2 weeks, dude finally rolls around. He's like, all right, cool. Like, where's that job at? And I'm like, bro, you left. Someone's in that position. I hope you enjoyed that 2 weeks though. Because like that $4,000 a day, that 24-hour truck position, someone else is on it. And they ain't going nowhere. So I'll let you know when I got work. So this is how serious this game is, guys. This is really how serious this game is. Because yes, understand that there's a lot on the line all the time. So what I'm trying to say is, if you guys could show up on time, if you guys could make sure to stay for the entirety of the job, if you guys could be in a position where you never say no, if you guys could wake up at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, doesn't matter where it is, and if you won't bitch and complain and you see every single job as an opportunity, you guys will make your far. You guys will achieve the things you want to achieve, because we're in a position right now where it should be the industry standard, but those things that I just listed out, only the top 5% of truckers do that. Meaning if you guys could accomplish all those things that I just listed out, it'll be easy for you guys to come in and swap out who we need to swap out and start making money together. I'm not telling you guys things that we didn't do, all right? I hope you guys derive like some serious value from what I have going on. And this is game right here, all right? So when we were still subcontractors, we had our thing. We had some operations that we took care of where company men called us directly. Even if we were in positions where we couldn't take care of jobs of ourselves, we made sure to get handled by calling other trucking companies, direct competitors, to come on and take care of the job for us. Because I understand that as long as the company man's calling me and I'm on location to direct the trucks, it doesn't matter who's there, it doesn't matter who's profiting on it. All that matters is when the consultant calls me, the job's taken care of. So if you're in a position like that, remember, you could utilize other trucking companies in the field in order to be able to complete your plans. And shit like that is why we're on track for a $10 million a year. All right, guys? So yes, like I said, the point of this video is for you guys to understand what you guys have to do in order to get out here. Another piece of advice, all right? I had a guy, he was actually part of our program. And listen, man, if you're watching this video, man, like, let me give game to the rest of the world, all right? Don't get upset. But part of our program, we got him lined out with an opportunity, and then he called us up saying, like, yo, this didn't fall through. This guy said he was going to hire me, and then, X, Y, and Z happened, and he didn't. And then we called the guy that we got him and set up with, and what happened was this. He's like, I was going to hire him, but then he started asking all these questions, and then he just seemed like a headache. He wasn't really too, appreciative of the opportunity. He had, more of a mentality of, all right, cool, you're going to give me a job, but what are you going to do for me? Understand that if someone's giving you an opportunity out here, if someone's employing you, and this is what we do. Even if a consultant calls me, this is exactly how I think. So don't think it's like, once you get to a certain level, this mentality and this way of thinking is gone. This is for the rest of your life, at every level of operations. But the person that's calling you, giving you an opportunity, all right, you got to see them as a king. They are so far above you, and they are, if you really want to talk about it, because you're calling them to ask them for money. You're not asking them for money, but you're basically saying, hey, can you make my time and my efforts worth $1? You're basically begging them to allow you to work for them so you can make some money. So yes, they are your king. So understand that this person is your king, and that's how the conversation should go. There aren't any questions. It's nothing but gratitude and appreciation for the operation, or for the opportunity. Call them up, and however it goes, but this is literally, hey, I'm willing to work as many hours as you need me to work. I'm willing to do any job you need me to do. I'm going to represent you exactly how you want to be represented in the field. It doesn't matter if you call me at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, I'm on location. Boots on within 10 minutes, on location within an hour. It doesn't matter if you need me to sleep on the truck, sleep on location, I'll work day shift, I'll work night shift, and that's how you do it. But most people, they get on the phone and they're like, all right, well, what type of truck am I going to be driving? Okay, I'm used to these type of trucks, but I guess I can make it work. How much you gonna be paying me, and how often? Because I'm a valuable piece of your operation. I know there's another 1,000 truckers that want a job with you, but I'm the one that gonna make you blow. You understand, guys? Now, yes, there's a way to talk about pay. This is how you talk about it. Hop on the line. Once it gets to that conversation, listen, sir. I don't want to sound ungrateful for the opportunity anyway, but I just want to ask you this, And trust me, listen, man, I'm down to earn my stripes. But I just wondering, what type of percentage are you guys usually making? What are, the typical, is it weekly pay, 2-week pay? Like I said, I'm not being ungrateful here. I just need to know, sir. And then he'll tell you, and then you move on. All right, thank you very much, man. That's 100% fine with me. Don't be like, oh, well, you're paying me 25%? Fuck that. This guy's making 28%. I want 28%. Because you know how the conversation's going to go? All right, well, have fun with that 28% somewhere else. Click. Fuck. Now you're back to the drawing boards. So don't put yourself in a position where you shoot yourself in the foot. Understand that you are beneath everyone and you're a roach for the rest of your life. Because even in the position I'm in, I'm still a roach for the rest of my life. And as long as you guys understand that, you'll be good. You'll be good. Another thing, all right? Rules and systems. Rules and systems, guys, all right? When a broker tells you this is how things go, that's how things go, all right? Because I get people that call me like, well, I don't feel like doing this, and I don't feel like doing that, and, X, Y, and Z here, and X, Y, and Z there, and they try to negotiate and compromise with me when it comes to the systems, the way we do things. Listen, man, the reasons why brokers have things set up is for a reason. When it comes to billing, when it comes to insurances, when it comes to certification, when it comes to everything that they need, you got to make sure to follow all the steps, all right? And I'll tell you this right now. This is what happened. All right, I had a guy. I was in a position. We have a what's it called? A digital software that we use for billing. All right, and what happened was it's a $200 a month charge. Fucking $200 a month to make 50, 60 grand. Do you guys see how crazy people are? They rather let the $200 get in the way of 60 fucking thousand. And that's why you guys are gonna have such an easy job coming through and swapping these fucks out, because you guys can see the bigger picture. So yeah, didn't feel like paying the $200. And I'm not going to hunt motherfuckers down. So dude was doing his jobs. Tickets weren't getting billed because he wasn't submitting them in the proper system. And then he hits me up about a week or two later, like, yo, to get all my tickets. I'm like, yo, you didn't pay the bill on straight dispatch. I can't bill those tickets until this is getting taken care of. So now he's a week and a half, 2 weeks behind on his payroll because he didn't want to follow the fucking proper rules. So understand that no one's going to hold your hand in this business. No one's going to be knocking on your door and be like, hey, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you didn't do this. It's just going to hit you about 3 weeks later like, fuck, damn, I should have took care of that 3 weeks ago. I didn't know that me missing steps and skipping what they told me to do is gonna affect me. I thought I was gonna be good. No, it's not how it works, guys. Not how it works. And I'll tell you another story. I know I'm rambling on about a bunch of shit right now, but like I said, take this in. Understand that this is your competition. Understand that these stories are stories that every single broker deals with. So if you could just be not like these people, you'll be good. You'll be fucking good out here. So let me think about it. What happened? Oh yeah. Called the guy to take care of a job. All right, he's gonna make about $2,500 for a shift in a 14-hour period, which is fucking gravy money. Solid run. $2,500. I call him up on the phone, and I'm like, yo, like levels are in the field are crazy right now. Like I need you to head to this job site right now. Like we got to take care of business. And he's like, oh, you're falling behind? Oh man, it's perfect. I'm like, the fuck do you mean it's perfect? Oh, like I mean like for the driver. Like I'm gonna make a lot of money. And these stupid fucks don't understand that. Listen, man, my success is tied to your success. Meaning that if we fail in this operation, another company is going to come through and take it over, and you're going to be fucked out of a job. Oh, perfect, man. You're falling behind. Sweet. Not understanding that that's leading to his own demise. So understand that when your broker calls you, he ain't calling you to fill his pockets. He's calling you to take care of your livelihood. So no matter what the situation is, go take care of it. Understand that. And not just that, bro. I fucking... like the audacity of this fuck to be able to say that, because like in my mind I'm thinking, all right, cool, well, when work slows up, I know who I'm cutting. I can't wait to cut these motherfuckers. As soon as work slows up, I know the people I'm picking, and what happens is, when time goes on, work's booming right now, I need drivers everywhere. As soon as you guys come out, these motherfuckers are gonna get swapped out. They don't even know why. They don't even know it's because of shit they did the last month. That's how much we hold on to shit, guys. We remember, like us brokers, bro, we'll remember shit for months. All right, cool, you did that about a month ago, don't worry. Job's gonna fall off in about 2 weeks. I'll remember that, thank you. I know someone else that wants it better than you do. Understand that, guys, and to wrap it up, like I said, the stories go on. People wanna be bosses too quick. People have fuck mentalities and think they're greater than they are. People don't wanna wake up at 2 in the morning. People don't wanna show up on location at 6 a.m. Money's not enough. It doesn't matter if they're making $2,000 in a day, $3,000 in a day. We're in a position right now where the oil field needs bodies, guys. The oil field has bodies. The oil field has bodies, but the oil field needs some hustlers. All right, so like I said, we're in a position right now where we could call it the great reset of the Bakken. Work's fucking booming, and this is the time to get in and really like eat on this opportunity, guys. All right, because it ain't gonna be here forever. People are gonna come in, people are gonna scope the scene, people are gonna start growing. Me, I'm fucking growing. All right, I'm gonna eat up all these positions. So I hope you guys come out here sooner than later, because if not, the big boy's gonna eat. We're gonna start growing, the other brokers in the game are gonna start growing, everyone's gonna start growing, and if you wait a couple years to eat on this opportunity, you're gonna be like, fuck man, I could have been at 10, 15 trucks. Now I'm just getting in 2 years later, but everyone ate up the pie. Now I'm really gonna have to grind. I'm gonna really have to make connections. I'm gonna really have to pound the pavement. When last year I could have just hopped in the game and picked up the phone and had 5 trucks within a month, if you got the money, obviously. So yeah, guys, like I said, there's a lot there, a lot to unpack, a lot that we talked about. Understand this, we're in a position where I need help. The brokers need help. You guys solve my service problem, we'll solve your money problem, all right? Thank you.